Shalom, my brothers and sisters. Shalom. Welcome to Less Than 10 Minutes. Words to Yashar'al, Nation of Believers. My name is Symmanayah, and if you're tuning in for the first time, Yashar'al, of whom I am referring to as Nation of Believers, this message is to all those who seek to do the will of Almighty Yahuah. Everyone who seeks to do the will of Almighty Yahuah and accept Yahusha as Mashiach, as Messiah. For as it is written, no man can come unto the Father except by the sacrificed Son, who is alive and well. With that said, this message is addressed to you, my brothers and sisters, my family. And in this segment of less than 10 minutes, I want to say Q&A, questions and answers. He who avoids questions may miss answers. Yes, my brothers and sisters, when I put the very first less than 10 minute segment up, I talked about questions as a fuel towards our journey in this life. And I was compelled to add another recording dealing with questions. So this one is not exactly like the first one. There's something totally different. It's presented with a different perspective. But you be the judge, my brothers and sisters. Redundancy, reinforcement, or something that may be beneficial at the right time. Of course, you are the judge. Again, welcome. Let's see if questions play a role in our relationship with the Most High Father Yahuah. Is it? Where? Who? Have you? What? I want you to focus on these and ask yourself, do you see a pattern for discovery and or distractions in the following scriptures? Again, the things I want you to think about is the emphasis on is it, where, who, have you, what? And tell me, do you see a pattern? And we're going to look at Genesis 3rd chapter. There are 4 verses in the 3rd chapter of Genesis that I want to bring to your attention or cause you to revisit. One is Genesis 3:1. And the serpent was more crafty than any beast of the field which Yahweh Alahym had made. And he said to the woman, is it true that Alahym has said, do not eat of every tree of the garden? Notice the serpent is asking Eve or Yahweh, is it true? So is it? First key word. Verse 9, and Yahweh Alahym called unto Adam and said to him, where are you? Another key word, where? Where? Genesis 3:11, and he said, who made you know that you were naked? Who? Another key word. It goes on to say in Genesis 3:11, have you eaten of the tree which I commanded you that you should not eat? Have you? And then Genesis 3:13, and Yahweh Alahym said to the woman, what is this you have done? And the woman said, the serpent deceived me and I ate. What? Again, key things to think about. Is it? Where? Who? Have you? What? These are attributes of questions, my brothers and sisters. I submit to you that it is through questions that attention is received. I further present to you that questions can lead to discoveries and reflections of true condition or a distraction. Do you think the enemy believed that Eve or Yahweh, depending on what translation you use, was unaware what Almighty Yahuah had instructed? I am compelled to believe the enemy used a question to distract and delusion as a perceived discovery. In other words, questions can bring about answers, but if one loses focus, they can also breed delusions and erroneous positions. Do you honestly believe Genesis 3:9? The Most High Father Yahuah did not know where Adam was located? Where Adam was located? Do you honestly believe that? Who can discern through the question the Almighty Father posed to Adam? It was used to get Adam to return to the original focus and purpose. I am compelled to believe the Almighty Father asked Adam, where are you? To get Adam to come back to where it began, as well as get him, Adam, to remember his place. Genesis 3:11, which presents the who and the have you, was also asked of Adam so that he, Adam, can demonstrate reflecting on what was done. Moving on to Genesis 3:13, the Almighty Father asked Yahuah, or Eve, a question to cause her to admit her sin, thus demonstrating a confession and possibly causing her to realize that she had encountered an enemy, the serpent. My brothers and sisters, although some of you may think I am adding to the story in or possibly misrepresenting Scripture, I pray that you will seek to discern righteously what transpired. Look at the Scriptures closely and you will find questions from an Almighty Father Yahuah, one who knows all, see all, and hear all. So to whose benefit were questions asked? I am compelled to believe it was for Adam and Eve, or Adam and Yahuah, as well as for us, believers to come, who can discover the life in the Scriptures and realize the power of questions. In other words, believers who can discover that there's life in these Scriptures, the life of the Spirit, getting us to open our eyes and see the power of questions. We may not always get the answers we want and or desire at the time we expect. Let me read that again. We may not always get the answers we want in or at the time we expect. However, Scriptures instruct us to seek and let us know that those who seek will discover. All too often, we are impatient and sometimes full of disbelief. Therefore, we miss the answers. Brothers and sisters, so many of us are spending times with compromising fellowships, self-appointed leaders because they call themselves mores, teachers, priests, prophet, watchmen, elders, etc. Many have taken part in fellowships because someone they trust attends, and of course there are many others in the fellowship with hidden agendas. I have seen a widespread of predators, men and women, taking advantage of those seeking a husband or wife among many camps, groups, and fellowships. I have also witnessed those who once demonstrated strength and righteousness stray as pride seeped into their ministries. They allow themselves to begin doing what their camp, group, or fellowship enjoyed versus continuing in obedience as they once began. Momentum is a strong grip, and unless one hungers for improved worship and obedience to the Most High Father, momentum will carry them away like a sailboat in a rushing wind. There are those who will receive reproof humbly, and there will be those who will experience chastening, judgment, and wrath. Let us realize we are in a season where it would be wise to take every breath and heartbeat with purpose. Let us come to grips with the importance of walking in wisdom towards those that are without. My brothers and sisters, awake and seek to discern and understand what the Spirit of Yahushua is saying to each of us and to the assemblies. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Be patient in your expectations of answers. Develop a ready mind to know how to respond once answers are before you. Sometimes intercessory prayer is required. Sometimes action is necessary, and sometimes we must just be still and watch the magnificent power and might of the Most High Father emerge. If we lack in asking questions, if we lack in asking questions, many questions, we just might miss out on answers that are awaiting us. Let me say that again. If we lack in asking questions, many questions, we just might miss out on answers that are waiting for us. Do you desire to make discoveries, or will you wait until things are uncovered by other means? Things that cause you to regret and feel bad about your decisions. My brothers and sisters, please begin to ask questions. Pray, watch, study. Pray some more. The discovery of Scripture fulfillment will come to be. Scriptures will be fulfilled. Be encouraged. The Almighty Father, through the Spirit of Yahushua, will bring all His promise to pass. All of His promises to pass. Until next time, my brothers and sisters, what are your questions? What answers have you discovered? Be alert. Shalom, shalom, shalom.